Welcome back to the RPO College Football Podcast. My name is Jerome Jones, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend. You already know who he is, Mr. Ray Roberts. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Jerome. How are you?
Doing good, man. We had an incredible week of college football, and I know y'all see the title, and I'm going to ask you this real quick, Ray. Real quick. Good. Was this one of the best, if not the best, weekend of college football outside of the playoffs?
It has been, yes, absolutely, one of the best weekends I've seen in a very long time, for sure.
Close games, nail biters, upsets. We're gonna all talk about it. We're gonna talk about it in a second. But
defensive struggles, offensive fireworks, kind of a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, a little mix of everything. I enjoyed this weekend. So Let's get into it. But before we do, I want to address a hot take that you brought out there. Now, I'm not saying this because, but I want you to tell the listeners what you said to me a few days ago.
I think that Michigan is the most complete football team in college football this year.
All right. So I want you to kind of elaborate just a little bit on it.
I just think that where we know that teams like Ohio State and Alabama, who are traditionally powers, and they are still trying to find their quarterback and their offensive, rhythm, production, however you want to put it. Where I see Michigan just steady as you go. No weakness, good quarterback. Not a great quarterback, but a good college quarterback. One of the best running backs in Blake Corum in college football, a stout defense, and a good offensive line. I don't see any weakness in Michigan. Where, again, you see where Alabama is replacing players on both sides of the ball and their quarterback. Georgia also players on both sides of the ball and their quarterback. And Ohio State, as well as they played at times, there's just something missing right now. And I can't put my finger on it. I'm just going to assume it's because of not knowing what they have with their quarterback yet.
Definitely. Got our first commenter on here. So thank you, Facebook user. Not sure who you are. I'll check you out in a second. Really thought this was the year Notre Dame was finally going to get us. Oh, that had to be Chris or something. That had to be Chris. Or no, I forgot Remy's a Ohio State fan. Do you want to comment on that, Ray?
I was hoping for it to finally be the year that Notre Dame overtook Ohio State too. But watching the game, we're going to get into it later. Me and you have touched earlier about Notre Dame and how they need to clean up their act, and that was the epitome of not playing clean football. So you don't win a game. Maybe you outplayed Ohio State for at least a half, if not more than that, in that game. But because of all the little nuances and attention to detail that you didn't have, you lose a game that maybe you could have won. You notice I didn't say should have, I said could have.
Definitely. No, I agree with you. I agree with Remy, and thank you, Remy, for getting on that. Was Remy? I just checked it out. Appreciate you being on. I agree. I really thought this was Notre Dame's year to beat Ohio State. Obviously, it was a super close game, really good game. We talked about it in the last podcast, so if you haven't seen that, go watch that. But we kind of went into some of the troubles that went around with that game and things like that. So, he said, I just wasn't sold on McCord. Still, I'm not. No, I agree. I'm not sold on him either. And I'm not just saying this as a Michigan fan. Not sold on him yet. We'll see how he goes when he plays some other teams and stuff like that. But, he did what he had to do. So,
I mean, I don't want to appear biased because, I don't like Ohio State.
Yeah.
I do like Kyle McCord. I watched him play a couple times in high school. I think he's a good player. He has a lot of developing to be.
Jersey guy, right?
He is. No, he's actually from Pennsylvania.
Oh, PA.
He went to St. Joe's.
Gotcha.
And he needs to develop and get better for sure. But I like Ohio State's wide receivers. I think once their offensive line starts to play a little better, maybe he will play better. And like I said, Notre Dame left doors open for them, and they took advantage of it. And I will never deny, they won because they made more plays in the crunch time that we didn't make. Period.
He said, "Nah, he's from Jersey. Went to St. Joe's. I thought so."
Okay.
He said his family lives in Mount Laurel. Yeah. Okay. I was right. I do remember him being in Mount Laurel.
I don't know how you go to school in St. Joe's if you live in Mount Laurel, but I guess. Okay.
All right. So to get back on the Michigan part, the reason why I want to bring this up, Ray, and again, it's not because you were just talking about Michigan and it was a hot take. I am on the fence of let's hold off and wait on that. That's why I was like, when you said it, I was like, okay, we'll talk about it in our podcast. Because don't get me wrong, we kind of started off a little slow, in my opinion. And again, I know Blake Corum was just coming off his injury. You could tell he was a little slow. He looked like he's getting back to his form now, which is exciting. It's great. But the talent that we was playing also made me be like, yeah, we winning, but could we have been winning a little bit more? It was a 28 game instead of like a 30-something game. Or this now, as you see, as the games are going, we're increasing, the points are increasing, which I like, and I think that's great that it's like that. But it's just like having 28 against like a Rutgers, or it just felt like it should have been a little bit more. Felt like it should have been more. Now we're handling our business. Don't get me wrong, and we're like I said, we're kind of still filling things out. Shout out to Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson is balling, and I did not think he was going to ball out. I always thought he was a good wide receiver. He became a number one. I was kind of skeptical about him being number one, but he's balling right now, man. He is playing, so I'm enjoying it.
I think that Michigan, again, is you talk about not playing very good early on. Well, I think part of that is because the coach wasn't there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's part of it.
That's definitely true.
All of it. And you know what, Jerome? Honestly, it's like this is not when I say things to people or when I talk about football, I'm not just giving you my opinion. I'm talking to like different people, and they've come up with the same conclusion. And even people that don't like Michigan just looks like the most complete team right now in college football. Did you hear all that or no, Jerome? Because you
I didn't hear nothing. I'm sorry.
No, I just like I said, I think everyone else heard me. I'm not just giving you my own opinion. I'm giving you what I think.
Yeah.
But I've talked to other people that are like college football a lot too, and we all came to the same conclusion. Michigan is the most complete team in college football right now. Now, could that change down the road 3-4 weeks from now? Yeah, man, anything's due to reset.
Yeah.
But right now, I think Michigan has the coach. They have the offense. They have the defense. They should be hungry, and I'm hoping or I'm thinking they should be able to seize an opportunity if that's what their goals should be.
I love what you're saying, Ray. I love it. Keep talking. You're good. Keep talking.
I mean, well, for one, I'm a big Jim Harbaugh fan than you are, apparently. Yeah. I believe
I'm coming around.
Well, I mean, I think Jim Harbaugh has been a winning coach no matter where he's been at or where he's been coaching. You can argue, yeah, but he hasn't really gotten it done anywhere, and that's true. He never won the NFL championship.
He never finished,
and he's never finished. But again, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I'm looking at what's going on in college football and saying, yo, man, this is my opportunity. I won a national championship in Michigan, and I am Captain Michigan.
Definitely. Remy says Notre Dame might be the toughest test of Ohio State of the year. I mean, I think they're actually better than Michigan. LOL. No offense, Jerome. Notre Dame, that is.
I don't agree with that, but I'm not going to sit here and bash Notre Dame, obviously, but I would have I would have this question for Remy. Did you watch them play against Duke the other day? Because I'm a Notre Dame fan. I love them. You know that, Jerome.
We're going to talk about
I
that.
was not happy with how they
We're
played.
going to talk about that. We're going to talk about
right
that.
now. Okay.
Sure. No, I agree. Yeah, it's giving Eagles season. Like, you know, we starting out undefeated, and it's just taking some time to kind of get there. It's just kind of taking some time to get there. It seems like with the Eagles, like both my teams are undefeated right now. It looks like we're starting to get our strides, both teams, but it just something's still missing between both of them. I don't know. Maybe I just need a good test or something like that. Especially with the Eagles almost losing to Washington. Dude, I don't know if I've been able to get on this podcast with you long. I'm just those Commander fans were just going crazy. I mean, Michigan plays against Rutgers. It didn't look good, and they say don't hang your head. Duke is surprisingly good. This
is not me questioning the talent of Duke and their coach, who I love, who used to be a Notre Dame defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Their quarterback, who I think, even though he got hurt, played really well in this game at times.
Leonard, right?
Yes. It's how sloppy they've been on certain times of the game, including, you know, as Remy should know, having 10 defenders out there in the last play of the game that they scored a touchdown on us.
Yeah, that was rough.
As much as people want to say it happens, it happens, all right? Not when your coach well, it doesn't happen.
Definitely. Well, since we're on the topic, let's get right to it with our week 5 recap. And the first game we're going to talk about is that Duke and Notre Dame game. Notre Dame winning 21-14, a very close game. Notre Dame had it very much in the bag most of the beginning of the game. You know, Southern went for a lot of field goals. Finally got I think 2 field goals and a safety, I believe, at the end of the game.
They scored a touchdown and scored a 2-point conversion.
That's what it was. Okay.
To make it 21.
Yeah, there you go. At the end of the game, Duke started coming back at the end. So, Ray, overall thoughts? I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but what's your thoughts on this game?
Again, Sam Hartman struggled in this game, did not play one of his worst games that I've seen him play. They ran the ball well enough to keep the offense good enough to win the game. They did miss 2 field goals, which is another subject. And it's not the effort. It's just little things. You know, illegal motion, offsides, just little things that when you're not playing well, they're just magnified. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know any other way of putting it than that. I just think that they played a good Duke. Duke is a good team. Defensively, Duke is a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Mike Eco, their coach, is very good. Very, very good. Love the guy. Riley Leonard, their quarterback, played really well at times. Very athletic kid, nice player. I don't know. I know he got hurt at the end of the game. I hope it's not too bad. I don't know that for sure. I have not heard anything regarding that. But Notre Dame just played sloppy. They really haven't played a clean game all year. They just manhandled teams early in the season because they were way better than the other team. I mean,
no, I agree. I think you guys, you know, and I'm gonna answer you. Look at your comment in a second, Remy. But I think that you guys, you know, have been struggling on, like you said, the sloppiness with the. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Yeah, but just with the sloppiness and everything with Notre Dame, it's very uncharacteristic because and you know what, Ray? It might be the head coach. I'm starting to think it's the head coach because ever since Freeman got into play, y'all been a lot more sloppier. I think.
I don't want to just blame one. I don't want to blame the head coach, and I don't look to replace him. I need him to improve.
Correct.
And I get the point, Remy, about, and I'm not, but that happens. You play sloppy in a game, you lose a game, maybe you should win. That's fine. I get that. You play sloppy in 4 games and you lose one of them, and you almost lose another one because you're playing in a lesser team. Like, again, Duke is good. Do they have the same talent that Notre Dame does? No, they don't.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be. They should. You could also look at it like, okay, if we won by 7, if we hit the 2 field goals, we'll win by 13, and it looks a little better. But it's like you said about the Eagles. They just don't look right. They don't look sharp. And now it's game 4 going on game 5 in college football, and I'm still seeing sloppy play. And I don't want to. And I get yelled at by certain people telling me, oh, it's not just the coach. No, it's not just the coach. But it's his responsibility to fix it, period.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think it's just the whole situation of, like, when you guys are out there, I don't know, it's just not clicking, like you say, just something missing. The fact that, Sam Hart only had 50% passing in that game. And again, like you said, good defense is not a bad team, but,
and they played well, and they made us earn every play we got. But I expect that from well-coached teams. I do. I expected Duke to play good fundamental defense to make us make plays. And they did. And it wasn't even that we didn't make plays. It was just sloppiness. Like, look at the last play. We hit a fourth and 19 to win the game.
Yeah.
After 2 penalties. And again, did you watch? I know you said you didn't really watch the game. When anybody did watch the game, knows that Sam Hartman rushing for 19 yards doesn't usually happen. He's usually a good functional pocket athlete who throws the ball with good timing and anticipation. He's not usually the kind of guy that's going to scramble for 20 yards.
Yeah.
But thank God he did it. If not, we lose. So that's what I mean. Like, it's not even making him make that play. It's what led to a 1st and 10 into a 3rd and 19 or 4th and 19. The plays in between then. We had field position early in the game where we're at the 35-yard line, and before you know it, we're punting from our 40 because of sloppy play.
Definitely. Well, I know your blood's going up here right now, and even in the win, I get it, man. I get it. So let's move on to the next team real quick, and we're gonna talk about Utah versus Oregon State.
I knew I should have went.
I had 1 week. I was clear for 1 week.
No, Jim, I'm not gonna blame you for this one. I think both teams are basically solid teams.
Yeah.
I think Oregon State played good defense in this game. I think the former transfer Ugalele quarterback played fairly well in this game. Didn't do nothing special, but made enough plays to keep them in. And I think, honestly, Bryson Barnes and Nate Johnson, the quarterbacks, Utah could not establish a run game. And unlike the games they had won before this, that's where the games were won and lost. Basically.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, where if we was talking about, if they can keep up on defense, which altogether they did. You only let them score 21 points. But sometimes, especially in the NFL, it's a little bit different in college. But in NFL, at least, you have to put points on the board. And they were not doing that. the fact that they had 20 yards rushing in the entire game. I'm sorry, not them. 50. They had 52. They had 57. Sorry, but out of 16 attempts and with Glover, you had 9 attempts from Johnson, the quarterback. All the other guys combined for another 6. That's a lot of rushing attempts just to get 57 yards.
Yeah.
And if you can't establish your run, can't draw out that timing of possession, you're gonna lose. And then when it came down to Johnson having to throw the ball, he was 8 for 23. 8 for 23. That's bad.
They had 141 passing yards in a college football game, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are we playing in the Ivy League? What's that?
In 2021.
Wing T, triple option. I mean, and the fact that, like you said, usually they would have taken, like, in a triple option or a run-based offense, you would throw the ball 8 to 15 times. But you don't only complete 8 passes of 23. I mean, that's, again, this is the game where not having Rising really kind of just
definitely. I'm very curious because I think we're saying this every week. I haven't been really following the Rising health situation. I hope he comes back soon, man, because this Utah team is a good team, but they can't just be carried on just one side of the ball the entire time because it's going to catch up to you. All right, so what I got here is saying Utes are also without Brent Kuthe, I would say his name, the tight end. He's been injured too. So that doesn't help as well. They're really good tight end that was backing up what's his name last year. So and he hasn't played this season while recovering from a torn ACL. Yeah, so he's out.
Thomas Yasmin, their backup tight end, caught 60 yards and a touchdown. So he did his share.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like I think not having the quarterback, not having their tight end, mix of tight ends, definitely hurt their offense. But
yeah,
if you can't, here's the thing. I'm not even talking about scoring a bunch of points because they only needed, 2 scores to be right in this game or 1 score to be right in the game. It's not having consistent drives. It's losing time of possession. Like I think it was like 39-21 by the time the game was over. So you can't sustain drives. That's where your defense starts to lose its focus because we all know Utah has good defense. 21 points really is not that bad, and they didn't really give up a lot of yardage or nothing either. They just because their offense couldn't sustain and keep them off the field. There's always going to be a crack somewhere.
Definitely. Hey, I wanted to jump on what you talked about the tight end Yasmin. Yeah, he had a great, a solid game. He only had 3 receptions though, and 59 yards. But out of the 59 yards, 1 of them was for 41 yards. So
I know.
Get that in perspective.
Again, I got that part, and not having his partner in crime hurt him. Or not having the quarterback. I mean, at least Jerome, if you don't have the quarterback, everybody kind of like shrinks to the offensive and they kind of keep everything in a box. And it makes everything even harder to do anything. That's why you only score 7 points. I mean,
Oh, definitely. So I agree. All right. So let's talk about the next game real quick. So the next game we're going to talk about is Louisville versus NC State. So NC State losing to Louisville 13-10. Me and Ray were kind of talking about this game slightly a little bit earlier off camera. When I was watching this, I didn't get to watch the game. I was listening to it. I was running errands and stuff like that. I happened to watch a little bit of it during I went to Chili's and just like literally just went in there and I seen it on the TV screen. I was watching a little bit. As soon as I started watching it, Louisville started coming back. But a 13-10 game, and my game picks was horrible. We'll talk about that in a second. So I did take NC State was up 10-0, and then started coming back. Louisville winning the game with only 20 rushing yards in that game. Ray, what you think about this game?
Like you said, offensive struggle on both sides of the ball for both teams early. Jack Plummer was 21 of 35 for 286 touchdown, but he did do it, throw 2 picks, only 23 yards rushing for a team. You're trying to figure out how did they win.
Yeah.
Well, Brendan Armstrong, who was a Tulsi kid, but a turnover machine right now.
About to say.
I was
about to say that.
Man, I mean, that's pretty much a difference in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw when he played against Notre Dame. Kid has tools. He just has brain cramps and turns the ball over. I mean, I like everything about him except for his decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he'll like you say, like Ray, you'll be in the game and he'll be in the game and all of a sudden turnover, like whoa, turnover, whoa,
yeah,
turnover, oh, like
you'd be like nice run, no, nice throw, oh shit, what did you do there? Like that's the game, that's his game. I mean,
yeah.
Again, he's got nice everything about him. Looks good. Fairly athletic, nice arm, nice delivery, but man, he is colorblind. I mean, I don't know man. He's colorblind, man.
He gives very much Dak Prescott.
Like he looks good.
Like, Dak is good.
For like, honestly, Russell Wilson right now. The last couple of years has been like that. Like, he still looks like he's good. Arm looks good. Wow, Russell, what the hell were you looking at right there? Like, wow.
Yeah, what was that, dude? Like, yeah. So I think he definitely gave up the game, for sure. Definitely did 2 picks, did not help. Plummer had a struggles in it too. He was throwing some picks as well. But he bounced back, and that's what you kind of want your quarterback to do. If they have a bad game, come back.
The thing, the one pick that he threw also was a batted ball.
Yeah,
was a deflected pass. So I mean, that's happened to everybody.
Definitely.
Like I don't blame a quarterback for a pick if he's a guy trying to make a play, but I'll blame him for a pick if somebody deflects it or something. I won't blame him for that.
Yeah.
I only blame him when I'm like, there was no one between you and that defender. Where were you looking when you threw that ball?
Oh yeah.
And Armstrong had actually, he threw 2 picks. He could have thrown 4 easily. Where Plummer made a couple, we were like, ooh, but they were like, you saw what he saw. He's just trying to make a throw that maybe he shouldn't have made, but again, I don't blame the guy for trying to make a play, but I do blame him when I don't see anybody on his team around to a spot where they're throwing the ball.
No, definitely. I agree. All right, let's get to our next game. And it will be – I got the wrong team on here. 1 second. We're going to talk about Colorado versus USC. Now, this game was bad at one point. It was a 34-14 game at half. Colorado started itching back a little bit at the end. Caleb Williams obviously 6 touchdowns, 403 yards with a 30-40. Sanders having a 30-45, 371 yard, 4 touchdowns. Both guys threw a pick. I mean, this felt like a who wants the Heisman type of quarterback play type of game. Ray, what's your overall thought on this one?
This was a fun game to watch. Like you said, It looked like USC maybe take control after the first half, and then Colorado just wouldn't stop punching back. I mean, it was a really fun game to watch. I actually got a chance to watch a lot of it because it was an early game last week, surprisingly. But I mean, like, you also saw the reason why USC won't win the national championship, though. Their defense is not good.
Yeah.
It's just not good enough, man. They can pretend like, and don't get me wrong, Colorado gets credit for making plays and coming back in the game, and I'll do that. And we all know Shader Sanders is a player, without a doubt. But you saw holes in USC secondary that are going to be exposed by Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama eventually, maybe Georgia if they figure out their quarterback situation.
We're going to talk about that.
Okay, well, again, you saw why, and Caleb Williams is going to win the Heisman if he stays playing the way he's playing right now.
100%. Think the quarterback play is there. Quarterback is going to allow this team to always be in it, no matter what. But he's going to have to put up 48 points every game for them to do something.
Is, Jerome, if they were to get into a game, say with Michigan, say with Ohio State, if their offensive line is playing where I think they can play, if Notre Dame's playing good football, even Notre Dame, if you can go in there and establish a run game against USC, you could really take advantage of that defense.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do that. It was really after Colorado started throwing the ball out of the backs in the flat and running some crossing routes where they could find some holes in their zone defense, because USC wants to let you catch the ball, then tackle you, and just hold the plays to a minimum, and then outscore you, basically, which I get because their offensive is explosive. But eventually, it's hard to get stops on teams when you really need them playing that type of defense. And against a team like the ones I just mentioned, who are good running teams, I think if you can expose USC with a good balanced offense.
100%. Yeah, I think that you can do that, with their defense because, like you said, they've been, and we're talking about the Pac-12 team, man. Their defenses just don't play. I don't know what it is. And I look up their defensive roster and they got names. I don't know what it is. It's just not pairing together. So
you know what I think it is, Jerome? They up front, they're athletic.
Yeah.
But they're not big. They're just athletic.
True.
And they want to try to get a lead on you so then they can just rush the quarterback.
That's
fine. But what happened was Colorado started, hitting checkdowns and running the ball. And they weren't just running the ball for 2-3 yards carry. It was 4, 6, 8 yards carry. And then it was a pass downfield. And then you're like, USC, and their offense is their defense's worst problem because they don't sustain offense very long, USC. They score pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
So your defense is going to be out there a decent amount, even when they are playing fairly well on defense, because their offenses could score from anywhere on the field because of their quarterback.
It reminds me of the Chip Kelly days with the Eagles. It really does, where you had this quick, fast offense. And granted, Chip Kelly was trying to run a hurry-up offense, the entire offense. But it was very much like that, where, quick, fast. You got that, that quarterback with that arm that can, extend plays and get out there and play off script. And he could get it, the Patriots-esque situation.
Here's the other thing, Jerome. If you have a big, stout defense like Georgia or Alabama, you can get away with playing offense like that.
Yeah.
But if you have a one-gap defense where there's holes everywhere and you're scoring so fast on offense, they're out there, 30 minutes a game, 40 minutes a game. You may be scoring 40 points a game. You may be doing it in 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you need, to me, a good balance. Like the great teams are a defense that, where you have a explosive offense, you have a stout defense where you can't run against them.
Yeah.
You may be able to hit some plays downfield, but you're not going to be able to run a game. You're not going to establish long drives against them.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? I know you're not going to like this. Dallas back in the in the Troy Aikman days was exactly the opposite. They had an offense where they dominated. They would keep the ball for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Then their defense would be one gap guys who would get turnovers, and then they get the ball back. And now they have the ball. And that's even scarier if you're the other offense and thinking, oh, shit, they got the ball again. We're not going to see the ball again for 5 or 6 minutes now.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
Yeah. I mean,
the good Alabama teams. The good Alabama teams are the teams that were stout on defense and explosive on offense, right?
Yeah. So with a game like this, are you giving Colorado any more credit? I mean, we all was like kind of off the bandwagon just a little bit after last week's game. This week's game, came past and is looking pretty much just the same. Like Oregon game, it was looking pretty much the same. It was like, oh, here we go again. We knew maybe Colorado wasn't a team, but Kiri came back, really showed that they can play against some of the big boys. Do you get I know there's no moral victories, there's no such things, but do you give credit where credit's due at this point?
I give credit for our team not giving up for sure. And again, it speaks volumes about the head coach. Because good players are a reflection of the coach.
Yeah.
If the coach doesn't give up, they don't give up. If the coach is questioning everything on the sideline, they're questioning everything on the sideline. Deion Sanders is going to win, dude.
I agree.
I don't care what anybody tells me. Is it going to be this year? No, of course not. He took a team to one game last year, man. I mean, and he's competing. Even in the game against Oregon, did you ever see them stop competing? They completely got throttled and dominated from the beginning of the game against Oregon till the end of the game. But they ever stop competing? Deion's a winner, dude. I'll never doubt that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am an old school guy. And early on, all the dancing and stuff that he used to do when he first came to the NFL, he used to annoy the crap out of me. But now it's like water under the dam now. I mean, who cares?
Everybody's doing it now.
Sanders is one of the top 5 to 10 defensive players that's ever put on a jockstrap. And he's a winner.
You're right. All right, well, let's talk about some more winners right now. Next game we're going to talk about is LSU versus Ole Miss. What a game. Now, I got to see this game, and this game was crazy. LSU losing to Ole Miss 55-49. Where is the defense?
What do you think
defense, right?
What do you think I like best about this game, man? I guess I lost Jerome again. So what do you think I like best about this game?
What
do you think I liked?
They lost.
I only got to watch the second half of the game.
Yeah.
By the time I forget what I was doing, but I only got to watch the second half of the game. What do you think I like the best about it? Every time I was
going crazy?
No, man. Brian Kelly sweating, man. He was sweating like a pig, man. It was funny.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, dude, you are sweating profusely there, man.
No.
It was fun, though, man. As you know, I'm not going to root for LSU, of course.
Yeah.
But big win for the Ole Miss coach, Kip, and he needed that, man. And we're talking about this being like a foundation type win for him. We'll see if he could do anything with it. I mean, we know Lane Kiffin is a good offensive mind, and he's been a decent play caller. Can he take Ole Miss to the next level? We'll find out about that. But this was a nice win for him. It was. Again, for guys like me, yes, I like defensive games. I do. I thought the Duke Notre Dame game, except for the sloppy play by Notre Dame, was a really good game. I thought this was a very LSU versus Ole Miss, kind of like the other game we were just talking about. Well, they were entertaining games to watch. Like any fan could watch them and be entertained.
Definitely. No, I agree. It was a very entertaining game. I just think that, and I kind of mentioned his name a few times on the podcast. And I think that his name is definitely going to start getting out there a little bit more. But back Jackson Dart, he's a guy. He's a guy that can be a name soon, for real.
Man, I was talking to somebody about this game. I'm like, I forget who it was. I know somebody I know is an Ole Miss fan.
Interesting.
I think
I don't see a lot of Ole Miss fans.
He's a guy from Tennessee who drives a truck for like HD Supply or something. He was talking about he's wearing an Ole Miss hat one day. I'm like, yeah, man, are you Ole Miss? Yeah, I'm from down there, and he had a little bit of an accent. Not, he goes, and he asked me, what do you think about Jack? And he asked me like last week, what do you think about Jackson Darts? I'm like, my man was throwing darts last week, brother. Like he was the man.
The name fits.
He was throwing darts, man.
No, for real.
It was good.
Yeah.
And again, like it was fun to watch. And it was fun to watch LSU lose. So I'm not going to lie about it. It was fun watching them lose. I like
it. I love the slight pettiness from Ray. I love it. It just gets me every time. It gets me
man, as much as I respect Nick Saban and the Alabama program, I'll never forgive him for quitting on the Miami Dolphins. That'll never happen.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You quit on Notre Dame, man. You're an Irish Catholic and you quit on Notre Dame. Wow.
Oh man. Don't cross Ray. Don't cross Ray.
I mean, now you know why people don't like us.
Yeah.
Like people, it's funny, dude. Like, I don't want to get into I had a conversation with a guy that don't like Notre Dame, and I tried to ask him why. Mm-hmm. He told me because their academics are too high. And I don't like I think everyone should be entitled to go to any college they want to go to. All right. I don't get that, but whatever.
Definitely. Yeah. But yeah, that was a great game by Ole Miss, getting over 700 yards in the game. Really, really a good offensive game at least. Defensively, it was not there on both sides. And it's funny because, LSU is known for
Jerome, you're like Shadow Man right now. Can you even hear me?
Yeah. So every time I try to talk, it seems like the internet gets lost on me.
Before we get off it, Quinshon Judkins had 30-some carries for 170 yards, touchdown. I mean, they ran the ball well. They did whatever they wanted. And Logan Diggs, who had 101 yards rushing for LSU. These guys all play well. Jaden Daniel played well for LSU. I mean, they had a lot of guys on both sides on both teams playing.
Shout out to Brian Thompson Jr. He was 3 touchdowns, almost 200 yards. Like,
yep,
he was going crazy too.
Yeah, like a lot of good offensive players in this game.
Yeah, you like offense just to do your game.
Yeah, it was just 55-49 sounds like somebody put numbers up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely. All right, let's go to our next game because I want to talk about this game because my fellow Georgia guys are not gonna like me for this, and we're gonna talk about it. Georgia versus Auburn. Now, Georgia is still undefeated, still the reigning champions until otherwise says so. I'm not taking that away from you guys, but when I was at that UAB game and I was watching them play and they blew up UAB, but I'm watching them, I'm just like, there's something off on this quarterback. Quarterback's not there yet. They winning, but something's off on this quarterback, and it showed in this game and their next game, which they play in Kentucky, and we're going to talk about this. They better be careful because if he don't step up, they're going to be in trouble. And everybody was like, oh, no, he was fine. He won us the game in the clutch time. He did that. But watch those plays that got them open. Brock Power. I mean, Brock Powers.
Yeah.
He saves him on a couple of like that incredible one-hand catch. There's a reason why there was an incredible one-hand catch. It was way behind him. Then he did the same thing in the same. I think it was like a play after when he threw behind him again, and Brock Powers went down the field and grabbed it and wound up getting a touchdown. Like, I would be very careful with this team because if you start you get a good defense and you start locking down Brock Powers, who's gonna save him? But go ahead, Ray. I'm gonna let you do your thing.
I think that Georgia's problem is as much their offensive line, them not playing together, not missing blocks, not establishing the run game they had the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say it right now, dude. Brock Bowers is a top 10 player in college football. The kid should be a first-round pick.
The dude is incredible.
He's as close to Travis Kelce as anybody I've seen in college football.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not going to say that he is Travis Kelce because that's a pretty special athlete, in the NFL right now for a tight end. But this kid does everything. And he's a solid blocker, which is the thing that blows your mind. This guy is a functional blocker who makes plays all over the field. And it's going to be hard to stop him because you're going to put a corner on him. Even corner can't cover him. He's too tall for them.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to feel like you have to have like a 6'4" corner to play against him who can cover. It's not going to be easy to find that guy, man. There's only a few of them in all of football, either way. But Georgia is susceptible to losing. There's no question about that right now.
Yeah, the defense is not where we used to be, and
there's a lot of talent on defense the last 2 years, a lot.
Yeah. It's not that the defense is bad because they're not a bad defense at all by any means. It's just that
they're different.
They're not,
They're different.
They're different.
They're athletic up front, but they're not all the stout athletic guys. They're just athletic right now.
Correct. And with that, I'm very concerned with Beck. I'm not a huge Beck fan, and I think a lot of his play is getting overlooked because of a guy like a Bowers, saving them and stuff like that. And again, like I said, there was a couple of plays in that UAB game, and don't get me wrong, there's quarterbacks of all calibers that miss throws, but you miss a player running down a post route wide open and you can't hit him. That's a problem.
Yeah, I think that really their offense has kind of been not bad, just not crisp, not sharp.
Correct.
I've been talking about other teams right now, so maybe they'll find that, but right now I don't see it, except for the tight end being able to do whatever he wants to do, basically.
Correct. So we'll see. All right, let's get our last game of the week, and I purposely made this the last game because we're going to talk about these two teams that we're going to talk about. Kentucky, the 5-0 Kentucky Wildcats are undefeated, beating Florida, who was ranked 22 at the time. Ray, what's your overall thoughts on this one?
That Florida's offense is not great, and they didn't really do a whole lot on offense. I think Graham Mertz is a good, solid quarterback. I don't think he's anything special. I think he's okay. I don't see anything in their offense right now that makes me think that they're exceptional.
Except Davis running on 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. One of them was through the air, but he was going off. Right? Huh?
Who was it?
Davis, the Kentucky running back.
Oh, Kentucky. Oh, we're talking about Florida. Sorry.
Yeah, Ray Davis.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I was talking about Florida, though.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Florida's offense is not – they look like a different offense this year.
Yeah.
you're starting to realize that Anthony Richardson was pretty good for them last year and kind of hit a lot of warts, including not a great offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Kentucky is right now, if you can blow holes like they did through the Florida defensive line and run, like you said, 300 and some yards? I mean, why throw the ball at all?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
no,
you threw the ball 20 times.
Granted, Larry was 9 for 20. That's not nowhere near where you want to be. But you start seeing that he's struggling a little bit. And if you can run the ball like they did, I don't know. That's a little good, man. Kentucky's defense has been really good this year.
Kentucky's defense is good. Their run game is good. Their offensive line is a bunch of big farm guys that block. I mean, I like Kentucky's team. I'm not surprised they beat Florida. I'm surprised they manhandled Florida.
Yeah, I agree.
I wasn't surprised that they beat Florida. To beat them the way they did, like you said, like just dominating at the line of scrimmage, I was a little surprised by that.
Yeah, they dominated them. They made them look like a team that shouldn't have been ranked. Honestly, they was doing whatever they wanted to and control the time of possession. We talked about that as well. Controlling time of possession, they surely did that. And just they're hot at the right moment, man. And they coming against they're about to play a team that, in my opinion, been struggling. I don't think everybody would say they're struggling. I think they're struggling. I mean, playing UAB last week or 2 weeks ago, I seen some holes, man. I seen that live, and I was just like, yeah, they beat them, but UAB was giving them the ball a couple of times,
Yeah.
UAB was kind of close at one point in that game too. Dude, I'm not saying Georgia's bad. I'm saying the quarterback's bad. I'm sorry. Not a fan. I'm just saying.
He doesn't look sharp. And when the tight end is saving his rear end, and then you look at 23 or 33 doesn't look bad, but then when you think about 3 or 4 of them passes shouldn't have been caught. Another cool 2 that I saw to a wide receiver maybe shouldn't have been caught. So now you're like, okay, well, is he that good, or does he still have a pretty good cast of guys around him? Which it's Georgia. He still has decent players around him, man.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree. So, all right, that's gonna do it for us for the game reviews. We're gonna get into our game picks of this week. And Ray, I was horrible this last 2 weeks. So let me bring it down to you guys. Oh, my record was exactly the same 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks I've been 4-6. Ray, you 3 2 weeks ago. 6-4. So you're currently beating me right now, and this is the scores right now: 29-20 and 32-17. So Ray, you caught up very, very handily since the first few weeks. So I gotta make some ground. I gotta make up some ground. So let's do this, man. You ready?
I'm ready whenever you are.
Let's do it. All right, first game we're going to talk about is Illinois versus Nebraska. Illinois is at home. They're favored by 3.5. Who are you taking?
Illinois is at home.
Illinois is at home.
I'm taking Illinois.
You taking Illinois?
Yep.
Nice. So this game is a close game, I think, too. Obviously, that's why I'm picking it. I think I'm gonna go Nebraska with this one. I might be making a mistake, but I think I'm going Nebraska with them. I like, and I still think Illinois just lost a little bit too much to really recover from how they was looking last year. I mean, obviously not looking like they were last year. So I'm gonna take that game.
Okay.
All right. Next game we're talking about is LSU versus Mizzou. Mizzou is a surprising 5-0. They're home, but LSU is favored 5.5. Who you taking?
I got LSU.
I am too, with the most cautious feeling I've ever felt.
Because you don't feel good about the LSU's defense right now, but
Yeah.
I think they'll bounce back. And if you're asking me if they're going to cover the 5.5, 6, I would not take that, but I think they'll win the game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not comfortable with their defense. If you guys have been watching this for the last couple of weeks, I've been on the LSU train all year, hoping that the defense will be better. Yeah, I that last game just really. So I don't know if I want to sit here and crush their defense anymore, but I do think that LSU's offensive firepower should be enough to beat Mizzou. I think it's gonna be a good game. So let's do that. So let's get our next game. Actually, our next game is not on our sheet. I'm gonna put it on anyway.
Okay.
Texas versus Oklahoma. So we're writing that in, right? We're penciling in right now. Oklahoma is away. Texas is home. Texas is favored by 6.5. Both teams undefeated. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Texas.
Okay. Let me think about this one. Good defense. Oklahoma's been playing a lot better lately. I'm taking Texas just because I'm not a Rattler fan. Been playing better this year, but not a fan of him. He lost that game almost lost that game last week.
Yeah.
So, not a fan of him. All right, let's go to the next game. It's going to be Washington State versus UCLA. So, let me find that quick. Ray, you got that game?
I do. Washington is 3.5 points. The line is 3.5. I believe the UCLA.
Is it Washington State?
Washington State. I think
Okay.
UCLA is at home. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't find it right now. By the way, we got one game playing right now. Versus Miss Tennessee is both tied up right now. So
yeah, that game's.
Anybody cared about that game?
The game with Washington State is at UCLA. I'm going to take UCLA in the game, though.
Say again?
I'm taking UCLA in that game.
UCLA, yeah. I'm taking them too. I just cannot figure out why I can't find a game.
They're at home. And they're giving 3.5.
Okay, yeah. I'm on the same boat. I'm going to take UCLA as well. There you go. Found it. Yeah, I'm taking them as well. I think that they're the better team right now. I think that Washington State has been a pretty surprising team, being 4-0. But I'm gonna take the home team on this one. Washington State is ranked right now. They're ranked 13, so we'll see. But I'm taking the home team.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Big game. Alabama versus Texas A&M. Texas A&M is at home, but Bama is favored by 1.5. Who you taking?
I get Alabama.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm taking Texas A&M.
My man.
I've been doubting them all year, and I've been able to kind of see how they're going. And I will say that Alabama don't look like the better team, especially with the quarterback position. They're still trying to figure things out. So we'll say. All right. Let's use Facebook user said I made it, haven't been getting these updates. So who is this? Is that still Remy? Not sure. Okay. Chris, what's up, Chris? He said, "What's up, crew? What's going on, Chris? Thank you for being on." He says, "Hey, hey, Ray, 3rd and 19. Oh, geez, don't get him started.
Worse than that is 4th and 19.
2 weeks later, but still. Come on, Chris. Don't get him started.
Yeah,
See the hat, man.
I got nothing to say, man. The truth kills, brother. Now I am.
Dude, that was rough. That was a rough last series. It was. Yeah.
It was
Okay,
a
Chris,
very
if you wanna see his reaction, we definitely talked about it in our last podcast. So definitely go check that out for sure. But yeah, man. Kudos to your team, man. Kudos to your team.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, let's get to our next one, and that will be Purdue versus Iowa. Purdue is Iowa's at home. They're favored by 2. Who taking, Ray?
I'm taking Purdue in the game.
Yes, I'm doing the same. I am doing the same.
I was always by how physical they played up front on the offensive line.
I was just about to say that. They've been playing a lot more physical than I've seen in a while. I always joked about them playing down to their competition. They're playing well right now. The record show they're 2-3 right now, but I think that they're on their way to being better. I mean, not a great team, but better for sure.
I think
Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you said, Iowa. They're at home. They're favored by 2, 1.5. You know, like who cares? I just think Purdue is playing better football right now. We'll see.
Definitely.
I may just be riding high from the win last week. I don't know. You know.
Definitely see about that. All right, let's get to our next game. Texas Tech versus Baylor. Baylor is at home. Both teams are 2-3. Texas Tech is favored by 1. I'm taking this one. Taking Tech?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking Tech. Yeah. We always talk about not good defenses and things like that. Baylor's defense is not that great.
Nah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So good for them.
Trying to be a little nice, Ray. All right. Our next game. So this game kind of got out of hand with the line. So we'll talk about that. I think that's because of the record, but it was closer when I looked at it. Cal versus Oregon State. Oregon State is away. They are favored by 9.5. That was a big turn.
You want taking to win the game, then, right, Jerome?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Both taking Oregon State.
Yep.
Same. Yeah, that line was not like on Monday. I always do these on Monday. So it gives them a little time to move it, and that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next game, it was another close line. I don't know if that changed. No, it's still fairly close. We got Colorado versus Arizona State. Arizona State is home, but Colorado is favored by 4. Who you taking?
I get Colorado.
I don't like this line, right?
I'm not crazy about the line either. I think Colorado should beat them by a touchdown, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Not crazy about this line.
It's
a 1-14.
I think it should be.
Yeah. Arizona's been not a historically good game or good school the last few years. I don't know why that line is so close. I mean, I know Colorado been losing, but do you really think Colorado's that bad? I don't know. That's weird to me, at least.
It looks like you give me to take Arizona State, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Or give me to take Colorado.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's exactly what they want, though.
Yeah.
If you believe in Dion, which I do, I think they're going to win by 10.
Yeah.
If you want to load off on them, like some people will, then you jump on Arizona State because you're like, why are they only favored by 4?
Yeah.
Just where they need to be, man, to get enough money from everybody.
Definitely. All right, we got 2 more games. Ray, this one's going to be near to your heart, obviously. Notre Dame versus Louisville. Louisville's at home. Louisville is undefeated. Notre Dame lost 1 game, so 5-1 versus 5-0. Notre Dame is favored by 6.5 away. Are you taking your team, or you don't feel comfortable about this?
I don't think I feel comfortable about covering any line, but I think they'll win the game.
Definitely.
I mean, like last week, I think they were like a 3 or 4 point favorite against. Oh no, it was 5.5 against Duke, and now it looks like, oh yeah, no brainer, 7-point win.
Yeah.
Okay, that last minute, everything could have been different, man. That's why I again covering
100%.
that line 6.5. If you were to parlay it, bump it up to 7.5, I wouldn't touch it at all unless I voted for Louisville.
Definitely.
But I mean, at 6.5, it's probably right where it should be. Notre Dame would probably win by either 6 or 7. But could it be a 4-point game with the way they're playing?
Louisville looking pretty good, man.
What's that?
Louisville looking pretty good, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like jumping off sides, illegal motion, bad tackling, and this is not even like sloppy tackling. I mean, I can take a mistake. I can, man. I understand we're all human beings. We're going to make mistakes. I get that. Sloppy tackling, not 1 week, not 2 weeks, not 3 weeks, not 4, 5 weeks of sloppy tackling.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to be cleaned up, and that's all there is to it.
No, I agree. All right, last game we're going to take. This is a kicker game because the line was a little bit closer, and it's kind of getting out of hand at this point. Number 1, Georgia, in Kentucky, who's finally ranked at number 20 after being undefeated all season. I'm about to say all season. Georgia is favored 15. They are home though. We're taking this one, right?
We're going to take Georgia to win the game, man. But again, do I feel comfortable they're going to cover that line? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I mean, like, Kentucky's coming off a really impressive win.
Yeah.
And I understand Florida and Georgia are like in different area codes. I get that. They really are. Yeah. Georgia's a much better program than Florida right now. I get that. But like 14, 15 points again playing against a 5-0 team. Wow. That looks like an easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, and this might be something I want to look into because I'm taking
a Georgia team that's not playing sharp football, and you got a team 5-0 coming off probably their best win.
I'm taking it to Kentucky, Ray.
Okay. All right.
For all the reasons that we were talking about earlier, I mean, I think it's the perfect recipe. Kentucky has a really good defense. They're gonna try to stop Brock. They're gonna do everything in their power. I think they got the tools to do so, and that's not really stop him, but slow him down. Where Beckett's gonna have to look here and here. Do you have the capability of doing that, especially in a tight game? I think this might be a tight game. I feel like it's just gonna feel like Auburn all over again for this game, except Kentucky's defense is a little bit better, and they can run the ball way better. So if they keep that formula where you keeping Georgia defense on the field. Now, last year we wasn't saying you don't want to keep Georgia's defense on the field because it's going to cause problems. But I think this year's Georgia team, and again, I'm not hating on their defense. I think defense still really good defense. But it's not the last 2 years kind of defense. And I think if you run at them, get them tired, keep them on the field, and then make Beck have to throw, because now they're playing from behind, and you make him have to throw, and you got that type of defense that you have, I think this might be their first loss of the game, right?
You know what, Jerome? I took Georgia, but if Kentucky beat them, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, again, a 15-point line screams win to me.
Definitely.
But, you know, we're only betting on we're only talking about who's going to win the game. I'm glad we don't get in the lines because then it'll be a lot more adult conversation. But
definitely.
Again, I'm taking Georgia, but if Kentucky were to beat them, I'd be happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I agree. All right, let's get to some of our chat rooms. That's going to do it for us for all the picks today. Before I get to the chat room, I just want to kind of reiterate what games that we have different. So the Nebraska and Illinois game, I have Nebraska, Illinois. The Bama, Texas Tech. This is upset week for me. I realize that's taking Texas A&M over Bama. You taking Bama. Kentucky versus UGA. Taking Kentucky. You're taking Georgia. And that might be the only 3 games. So we'll definitely see. I'm taking a little bit of risk with this, but we'll definitely see with this. All right, let's get to our comment section real quick before we get off. Chris said it was a hell of a game. Would love the Eagles to draft Fisher as Lane's eventual replacement. I would like that too.
Be an awesome pick.
Yeah. It's also funny that this is the most interesting the Pac-12 has been in years. They're still spitting up after this game. Yeah.
Agreed. I think that, honestly, like Chris, that's a whole other subject that we could probably get into for a long time. I mean, I think losing them teams from the Pac-12 is going to be a big mistake. I do. I don't care what anyone says. It may benefit them in the long run, and maybe they'll make a little bit. Agreed. This is why I think we talked about this when Deion first made this move. This is why after that split, UCLA, USC leave this conference. Colorado could be the team in that conference.
Yep.
Deion has said it himself, man. He needs a half a dozen more,
I think he's not going to leave.
4 or 5-star players, and he's going to get them.
Someone tells me he's not going to leave unless it's like a serious like Florida State type of thing. And Florida State is balling right now, so I don't think they're going to just fire their coach right now. So I think Deion's staying no matter what.
I think Florida State would be the one team that I would think that he would be enticed to maybe think about. Unless, like, no, man, you know what, though, Jerome? And I think he wants to accomplish some things in Colorado before he wants to leave. I do believe that. But if he were to win at Colorado, man, there would be teams pounding at his door.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about taking – and I've seen Colorado good, where they were pretty good, like in the early 80s. They had some pretty good players and some pretty good teams. But to win a national title at Colorado, wow.
Yeah. You pretty much play anywhere at that point.
I mean, yeah, you could be like, who wouldn't want you? I mean, if you're talking 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, maybe Alabama wants to replace Nick Saban, and who recruits better than Deion Sanders?
That's true.
I mean, he could probably cash his own ticket. So he's definitely a focused, self-minded person. So he's also going to look at like, I'm in Colorado. We're like a middling type program right now. We are. I get that. But if I achieve greatness with this team, sky's the rocket, man. I could do whatever I want. I literally can cash my own ticket, and I can dictate where I go. NFL or college football, basically.
100%. No, I agree. All right. I love this question by Chris because I feel like this is a good question. Question on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you on Georgia's quarterback Carson Beck? Ray, I'm gonna let you answer this one first because I already know what I'm gonna say.
On talent or what I see him playing like right now?
I think he means on talent.
I think he has good functional quarterback talent. I don't think he has a special arm. I think he has a solid arm, but
he might just mean overall. I don't know. He might mean overall.
Okay, I'll get a 6.5.
Wow, I thought you were gonna say 7. I really thought you were gonna say
7.5. If I was sure that he could win games, I'd give him a 7 or higher. I'm not sure about that right now.
I'm giving him a 6. I think he's the biggest weakness on that team. That's not good. That's not good when that's your quarterback.
Also, you got to remember this. I was not a huge Stetson Bennett fan, but he was a good team player, and the team believed in him. But also, with that defense, he got great field position all of the time.
That's true.
He's not getting that right now.
Yeah. And
different.
And knock on wood, but something happened to Brock, I might push that down to like a 5.5, 5.
Yeah.
Like I was saying.
Oh, yeah. Like he's the I mean, here's the thing, though, Jerome. Because he's so good, he's your
Yeah.
first option on most pass plays.
100%.
So the outside guys only got to be so good.
Yep.
But if you take him away from that offense,
Mhm.
they're nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, not gonna wait. I'm not trying to wish anything horrible on anybody. I hope he plays the entire game. I hope he becomes a first rounder because I really like his game.
I never.
He's bailing out his quarterback a lot. Like,
I was really the worst thing about the Duke Notre Dame game was the fact that the quarterback got hurt in the last play of the game.
yeah.
Trying to make a play to win the game. That always bothers me.
Yeah, 100%. All right, our last question. It says, or comment. It says Colorado could be bumped in the first to second overall pick in 2025. That would be awesome.
Well, the cornerback they have, the kid that plays like both ways, will be a top 10 pick right now.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
Hunter,
Travis Hunter, as good as he is at wide receiver, I would tell him to stick to playing corner because I think in the NFL you have a longer career at corner, and you'll probably make more money in the long run.
Definitely, and you got some big recruits coming in too to Colorado. You know, Winnie Winston, who's a cousin of Sammy Watkins. He's a player, man. He's a player from IAG Academy, just transferred from IAG Academy. He's a player, man. So,
but Travis Hunter right now is already a first round pick.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, like, sure. I mean, I know he's hurt right now too, but you know.
Yeah. What Chris is saying too is like, right now the Bears hold that 1 and 2 pick right now. Shadir and Travis.
If they had the number 1 pick, they won't make that pick unless they change their mind about their quarterback.
You think they're gonna trade down?
Yeah, because whoever Khalid Williams is going to be the first pick player taken.
Yeah,
whoever needs a quarterback.
Yeah,
and if Chicago feels like their quarterback is not the guy, then they'll take him. And if they're still comfortable with that, they'll move back.
Definitely.
Why would you? That's what they did last year. Why would they not do it again?
Yeah, that's true.
I
think like having a team like how the Texans kind of operated, teams might be like, you know what?
Yo, man, here's a question for everybody right now. I know it's really early on right now. How people feeling about CJ Stroud right now?
I said that he's their best. He was their best quarterback. And yes, Chris, I am saying it. CJ Stroud was definitely your best quarterback, even though I have some issues with him not running the ball.
I'm going to say it right now, and a couple guys I work with who hate Ohio State. Here's the difference. I don't like Ohio State. I'm not going to lie about it.
Correct.
But I keep it real, man. But I know a couple guys I work with. Corey.
Yeah.
And he's a good guy.
Michigan guy.
Yeah. He was not a CJ Stroud guy. Didn't say he was bad. Just wouldn't. And I keep telling him every time I talk to him, CJ Stroud, my man, is going to be a star. Okay? Write it down.
Yeah, he's a dog. He's definitely a dog. But we'll see. We definitely see.
No, we won't see. I have a crystal ball right here. Going to be a star.
Well, you heard it there first, Chris. Gonna be a star. All right, so that's gonna do it for us today. Ray, you got any rants real quick you want to go through?
Just a little bit of what I followed on from earlier today. Notre Dame, clean up the penalties, the offsides, the illegal motions. I'm not going to even say nothing about having 11 players on the field on defense. That should be a given at this point. But, and you know what, man? It's not the first time I've seen it happen, so I'm not going to try to act like it is. It's not. But it's, again, just clean up the minor things that you're doing wrong, and everything else will just take care of itself.
100%. Yeah.
The effort's there.
I do want to say something real quick before you get off, too. It's not really a rant from my perspective, but it's just something I just want to kind of put up there. Just this Monday, Georgia high school football has put out a agreement to allow high school players to get NIL deals. So Georgia football is going to change in many ways. I feel so many different ways about it. Some negative, some positive. At the end of the day, I just hope that these kids make the right decision. So make the right decision. Make sure that, you're allowing your parents to do what they need to do. Stay on top of what you need to do. And when I say that, I mean stay on top of your grades. And be careful with some of the people out there. So I'm just going to say that. Like I said, I have negative parts of it. I'll have positive parts of it on both sides. So I think that it's going to be a interesting situation. I'm here in Georgia now. So we're going to see. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to, talk about that NIL deal. And I think it's going to kind of spread out to other states eventually. I think Texas already have it. I think Cali have it. I definitely know Florida has it. So I guess Georgia wanted to get on that.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jerome. So they're allowing high school kids to get NIL deals right now? In what year in high school?
Whatever.
They got to be seniors?
I don't think I haven't read it yet. I think it's just open. I think it's open.
And there's more than
juniors are already getting like commitments and this and that. So I can't see why they wouldn't I can't see them only just letting seniors do it. And a lot of it's gonna come down to the parents and all that. So it's gonna be interesting around here. So
you know what, man? I'm just gonna say this. They're going to turn it into money grab for everybody, and the kids are not going to benefit from it. They're not. Okay, just let's say that right now. Yeah. You may be talking to lawyers, and you may be talking to some parents about how they're trying to make this benefit for their children, and maybe some of them are being honest and truthful about it, but all of them will not be, and the kids are not going to benefit from this. Okay. Yeah. I'm done.
Yep. I agree. So I think that's a topic for a whole nother podcast. Maybe we'll do something like that.
I need to. If you could do me a favor, Jerome, is that an article or something you read, or is it just email or something like that?
It's an article. I'll put you on it. Right. It's a thing. That's a thing.
If you would send it to me, I'd like to read it.
Will do. All right. That's going to do it for us today, guys. Thank you for getting on. We appreciate it. My name is Jerome Jones. That's Ray Roberts right over there. Make sure you check us out on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where you can find all the great stuff. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that QR code right under Ray right over there, and that you can find all our social media. It helps you out. There it is. And it really helps us out, and you are able to see us go live and make comments like Remy and Chris. So we shout out to those, being in the comment section today. We really do appreciate it. And, if you're not able to watch this live and that are watching, they watch a lot later. So you can watch it a lot later. You can put your comment in the comment section. We'll comment back on there if you have any questions about your favorite, college teams or, some of the matchups that we talk about. You disagree, you agree with us. Any comment helps us. So definitely go in there, check it out. We comment back on everything. So definitely please do that. So that does it for us today. Again, I'm Jerome Jones. That's Ray Roberts. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next one. Enjoy your college weekend and college. Enjoy your high school football. It's going to happen in 2 days. Enjoy your NFL football, and we'll see you next week. Peace.